Today is the day, my friends. The Shaman fight preliminaries are ending with the battle of the Titans between Tao Ren and Asakura Yoh. Only one can make it through, so let's talk about Shaman King. Yoh Asakura prepares for the fight of his life against his arch-nemesis Tao Ren. Should Yoh lose the fight, he could be kicked out of the Shaman tournament and destroy his chances of becoming Shaman King. But before I give you my thoughts, I want to know what you think. Join me in the comments and start a conversation about what you think of this episode of Shaman King, as we're kind of ending the first arc of this show. And while you're down there, please consider clicking the subscribe button. It does wonders to get my content out there. You'll join a beautiful community and you'll always be aware of whenever I upload more great content. And as always, there are spoilers in this review. We're going to talk about the entire episode, so just be aware. And the episode starts with Tao Ren. For the first time, I believe, we fully see Tao Ren's father, and I just love the visual that he is so big that he has a pet panda on his lap. What sucks though is that he fucking crushes the panda skull and kills it while talking to June about Ren's intentions and Ren's motivation going into this fight and into the Shaman tournament. As Tao Ren is very happy, you'll bring honor back to our family, we will be conquerors again. But that's not really Ren's intention, is it? As everyone is watching, and Silva is made the caretaker of Ren in this fight after Ren killed his former caretaker, Silva now has to take care of both Yoh and Ren, and so he goes to watch this fight, and it's fantastic. It's so fast-paced, it's exhilarating, it's fantastic action, so many great shots from the beginning. In fact, this fight is so awesome. I thought it was almost done when we suddenly have those screens that mark the halfway point of the episode. And throughout this fight, we have, yes, cool shots, amazing action, amazing moves pulled by both of them, attesting to their development not only as characters but as shamans, and how powerful they are now compared to how they fought last time, with destructive force, destructive maneuvers in this empty field in the middle of the park or forest or whatever. But throughout all of this, we explore character and the relationship that is being built and of course will be developed between Ren and Yoh going forward. Much like last week's episode, where its biggest strength was exploring character motivations, what drives them, what makes them tick, what are they afraid of, what do they want, what do they need. We do that a lot here with Yoh and Ren, how they're very different but also very similar, and how Ren is going through this character development that Yoh has just gone through with the lessons he learned in his fight against Faust. Yoh has learned not to succumb to his anger, his emotions, but Ren is absolutely driven by them. I love how they use the comedy in this show. We have these new shamans that are learning throughout their fights, and then we have someone who understands all of this and they're commenting about their flaws and the really smart things they do as well. But the fight between Yoh and Ren is all this episode is about. It's about them, and I love it. These are the two best characters in the show, the ones that get the best development, and this episode truly shows it. And by the end, we come to understand what Ren truly is about. He knew Yoh would win somehow. He knew he was special from the beginning. Throughout this episode, we also explored Ren's traumatic past, how he was brought up through June's conversation with their father that is going on throughout this episode, throughout this fight, and N doesn't properly understand what he's doing wrong, which again, I love. The villain does not understand what he's doing wrong. He's a good guy in his own opinion, which is great. It gives dimensions to the villains, and we explore more of this anti-hero character that is Tao Ren, which is probably why he's my favorite character in the entire show. I love my anti-heroes, my dark characters. How the fight concludes, obviously, with them tying, it's so funny, but it's also very character focused, which is what elevates the writing of this episode and these characters, as they start to bicker like old friends because both Furyokus went out at the same time, and Yoh accuses Ren of not paying attention. He should have been paying more attention to see who goes out first, but thankfully now the committee is all there suddenly, and I really love that aspect of it, and they announced that both of them pass, because Yoh has 1 win, 1 loss, 1 draw, so that is good enough to make him pass. I wish we could have seen the scene after that where Yoh asks Ren to go to have dinner at his place to celebrate, and we see a little bit of our main group together, minus Lyserg, who will come into the show eventually, but it's not here yet. So I wish we would have had a little bit of that scene, maybe just the invitation itself to end the episode. But again, we see that this episode was very important because they once again do that thing of passing the credits as the episode is still going on, and not just an outro ending theme to close out the episode. This was great, man. I love this episode. It didn't feel like 20 minutes, it felt like 10. Again, I was watching this fight and then the insert in the middle of the episode comes in and I'm like, oh, we're only halfway through. That's awesome. We see Yoh fighting better with Amidamaru, how Amidamaru advises him. We see Ren's growth as a shaman as he summons the fucking horse of Bason to incorporate into his own horse, and he grows this gigantic oversoul of Bason on top of his horse. It's amazing. Again, the shots I took of this episode, I probably splattered them throughout this review in the appropriate places, are just awesome. Visually, this is probably my favorite episode. It's also the most spectacular, the most exciting episode. I don't know if I still prefer the Faust one, but this one is very close. I cannot wait for the next arc, which obviously is developing the friendship between Yoh and Ren, but also we're going into the fight against Taowan, which is one of my favorite arcs. I hope they once more insert the Braveheart theme from the old Shaman King, because they already included Oversoul in this show, so bring more of the nostalgic themes, man. Inject that nostalgia into this new show. Or you know what? Do more insert songs, do new ones, I don't care. Give me something new, something to build the hype around this thing. This episode was great. That's all I want to say, really. But what did you think of this episode of Shaman King? Is it your favorite, your least favorite? Let me know all of that in the comments below. How do you rank the episodes thus far? Thank you so much for watching. We are very close to 3,000 subscribers, so tomorrow we'll probably celebrate it on Geeks at the Round Table, my podcast with Zach Pope. Make sure you join in for that one. Thank you so much once more. I hope to see you in the next one. And so until then, love each other and love the movies.